What do you think of Phil Foden at the weekend for England?
Tremendous.
Yeah.
He's a super talent. A better indication of his talent was the game at Anfield, of course, where he played on the left, which was surprising to me, especially as they'd played so well against Chelsea with him through the middle and Grealish on the left. But it paid dividends because he was the player that got them back in the game, of course. He's got wonderful ability in all areas of his game, so it doesn't really matter where he plays. He can contribute from anywhere. His passing's really good.
What would his best position be?
As a 10, even though as a wide man, a tucked in wide man as a 10, I think, where he hasn't got too much responsibility defensively, but he's not playing all the time with his back to goal. I think where we saw the best of Messi for a long time at Barcelona, I mean, he's been brilliant for a long time, but when he played off that right hand side, and he had a spell where he had Eto'o through the middle. And he come in off that right-hand side and he was on his left foot coming in and scoring goals. That's really the position I think Foden would be best.
Yeah.
But with his ability, as I say, I saw him play in an FA Cup tie on a crap pitch. I did the game. It was a League 2 team and I can't think now off the top of my head, apologies. And he played midfield. He dropped in the middle of the park on a bad pitch, demanding the ball, and his decision-making on when to try and play the killer pass and when to try and keep it moving was exceptional on the day.
Yeah.
So I think he can play anywhere in that team.
But you said ideally a 10.
Ideally linking the play, because City generally play one holder, sometimes with two. Bernardo Silva drops deep. But I don't like him too wide where he gets isolated.
Right.
Because he's not got blistering pace. So I think the more you bring him in the pitch, the more he can affect the game.
It was interesting your pep on it because obviously this guy can play in a number of positions and he's got an incredible future ahead of it. Let's listen to Southgate post-match.
To see the passes and to have the quality to hit the passes that he did is apparent for everybody. So as one or two, not just him, but one or two others in that midfield area get stronger, I think it's really exciting to see how we might evolve as a team in certain matches and how that balance and creativity might continue to progress. So I'm not surprised that his performance was the standout tonight. I think we half expected it when we named the team, really.
Not Pep, of course, Southgate. What am I talking about? But certainly he was raving about him, and why wouldn't he? But as his career progresses, Danny, what is the ideal route to go down here? Is variation a strength, or do you need eventually to tie yourself down to one role and be the master of that?
No, I don't think you do. As a striker, probably, maybe. But centre-halves can play holding role in midfield. They can play full-back. They're good players. Playing a 3, playing a 2. I think the more adaptable you are, the better.
Yeah.
He's always going to play in great teams, so I don't think he's ever going to be in a team where they don't dominate the ball, which is what he needs to be. He needs to be in a team where he gets lots of the ball because he's brilliant with the ball. So, no, don't restrict him. Don't restrict the player to one position. I hate that. My whole education of football when I was a young lad was about playing different positions. I played different positions every week for 2 or 3 years. And it benefited me because you learn to understand that other position. And I don't think... He doesn't seem like the type of lad who... He just loves playing football. He's not somebody... Rooney sacrificed himself for years at times, didn't he? Especially in European games for Manchester United, playing on the left when Ronaldo had to play through the middle.
Yeah.
The great players do that. He ended up playing centre midfield, Rooney.
Can you really judge an individual, no matter what he does on or off the pitch, on the pitch, against a team like Andorra?
Not really.
With all due respect.
Not really, because they're so talented, the England players. One of them's going to shine against a pub team.
Yeah.
I think you can judge him more at Anfield in a massive, huge game against high-intensity opposition, against the electric crowd.
When he was superb.
Yeah.
He was a man of the match. Simon, isn't it good we're talking about Phil Foden for what he does on the pitch?
Yeah. Yeah, and
the boy deserves a lot of credit for that.
Predominantly, that's what we talk about most of the players. There's only isolated instances where we get the misfortune of talking about what they do off the pitch. He's an outstanding talent.
He is.
And of course, getting into the Man City side determines that he's an outstanding talent. And playing against Andorra, you've still got to see these passes, you've still got to be able to execute them, but they're done at a level with less intensity than you'd be doing them against better opposition. So I don't think you take anything from the Andorra game. But that doesn't alter the fact that he's an outstanding talent and sort of symptomatic of the next generation of players that are coming through.
Yeah.
Through our youth development system, through our academies, that have got more technical ability than generations that have gone in the past.
That's the technical ability he possesses is one of our best.
Yeah.
Very, very rarely loses the ball. His awareness of others around him is sensational. That's what makes him, because he's not blessed with blistering pace, he's still got the ability to find space and go past people without pace. That shows how intelligent he is and how good his feet are.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.